Proverbs 16:9 says, "In his heart, a man plans his course, but the Lord directs his steps." And I remember being 14 at youth group and hearing that verse, and it has stuck in my mind ever since. And I think especially as it relates to your health and fitness journey, like it is so easy to want to focus on weight loss or food restriction or, all of these vanity metrics that really just don't matter. And when we can walk into a heart posture, believing and knowing that God created us for a purpose, He knew what our struggles and weaknesses were going to be. He knew the areas that we were going to struggle in. And, we're not a mistake. You're not a mistake. Wherever area you find yourself in your fitness and nutrition journey, if you've, maybe 5 years ago, you invested in a nutrition and fitness plan and you lost all this weight and you felt really good and then life happened and you gained it all back. It happens. It is the process of life. After I met my husband, new relationship, I had worked really hard to get 95 pounds off. And I found myself a year after we got together, I was 27 pounds heavier. And I remember that morning waking up thinking, this is stupid. What am I doing? Like, I felt so good when I was eating on my nutrition plan. I was still exercising, but I was not at all watching what I was eating. And you've probably been there. You've probably invested in a plan and you had all these expectations and then life happens or your kid gets sick. And I see it happen with literally every woman that has ever signed up to work with me. Something happens that wants to derail her because the enemy does not want us to be leaning on God in our health journey. He wants us to be gluttonous. He wants us to be obsessed about our weight and our bodies and distracted by all of these things that the world tells us measure us when it doesn't. Our worth is simply in the fact that Jesus Christ died for us, that before Genesis 1, God saw us worthy to be here. And it has been 7+ years of me in my business doing things completely the wrong way. And about 3 years ago, he called me to build a business for him. And I did. I implemented a lot of the things that he wanted me to, but I was still encouraging my clients to really lean into the nutrition plan and, focus on that. But it doesn't really give you areas of, treating and living life. And it became unreasonable. I was beginning to place it as an idol in front of my clients. And that is not at all the coach experience I want to have for them. And so just really being prayerful after the beginning of the year and really starting to listen to clients. I started doing one-on-one calls with them probably about 2 years ago. And in those times, that's my absolute favorite, is when I get on a Zoom call or FaceTime and, just pray with my clients over their health journey and really give them a tangible, specific plan so that they can go out and implement that in their day. And we kind of got away from that in the last, I would say, 6 months. And I just have really been continuing to seek God's guidance in my business and how can I offer my clients the absolute best results? Because I've not been getting them results. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I am pushing them to Jesus. Yes, they are leaning on Him first. They're spending their time with Him in the morning. But as far as physical transformations, a lot of them I have not prepared mentally, emotionally to do these kinds of things. And that's why I'm here on a podcast. God called me a couple weeks ago to start a podcast, and here I am. And I want to be really transparent and share with you that I've done things wrong. And my clients would probably say, no, she's a great coach. I hear it all the time, but I want to be able to help them physically make a transformation. And not to say that I don't have clients that have reached weight loss goals. I have, but I really want to be intentional with how I'm helping my clients plan. The majority of the women that I work with are moms who work outside of the home and they have kids, they have husbands, they are chasing grandkids, they're busy. They have busy lives. And so the last couple of weeks since I've started this podcast and listening to Stephanie Gass, she's amazing. If you are considering starting a podcast or are building a Christian focused business, listen to her podcast. I think it's called Online Business, Podcast for Christian Women. She's incredible. And she's really pushing me to step outside of my comfort zone. And in the last couple of weeks, just really putting it to prayer. How can I best serve my clients. And so I got in my group yesterday. I talked with my clients about how things are going to be changing. And I want to share with you so that you have the opportunity to get in on this beta test that I am going to implement October 1st. It's 2024, so probably in about another 6 weeks. And as I was in prayer yesterday, I really just sat in silence and said, okay, Lord, last week, he kind of gave me some bullet points of some things that I want to include in my coaching. And so I want to share with you a little bit about what that's going to look like. So starting October 1st, I will be doing 3-month coaching sessions. So I'll be opening this up to probably 5 to 6 clients to start, just because I want to make sure that I'm giving everyone the time and attention that they need. So what that's going to look like is every month, October, November, December, we're going to have a 30-minute coaching call before our challenge bootcamp begins, and then we'll have a 30-minute audit call after. So October 1st, October 31st, November, that's how kind of that will lead up. So you'll have an hour of my time each month. And then each week, you'll have a 15-minute call. We're going to hop on we can do voice notes, we can hop on a FaceTime. I wake up really early, so I'm opening this up probably at 5 a.m. and we'll take 10, 15 minutes and we'll plan your week. So we'll look at what you have scheduled. Okay, I go to work from 8 to 5. I have to commute at 7:15, so I don't get home until about 6 o'clock. I have to make dinner. I'm spending time with my family, which is absolutely most important. So what are the pockets of time that I can use to reach my goals? We will schedule your workouts. If you're someone that hasn't exercised in a long time, I'm not going to ask you to exercise 5 days a week. We're going to pick 1 to 3 and we're going to schedule those like we would our haircut, right? Because we're not going to miss out on that. Our self-care time is the most important time. We cannot pour from an empty cup. So making time to schedule those pockets until that becomes a habit, we're just going to take it one day, one step, one workout at a time. So that's what your Monday will look like. If you decide that you want to do that bi-weekly, we can do that. We'll just take 2 weeks and schedule that 2 weeks. I will provide you with a calendar with open time slots so that you can pencil those things in if you don't have a calendar of your own. And we'll just kind of work that out. Obviously, life happens. Things are going to change and shift. That's okay. That's the beauty of not being a robot, right? So we will talk about how to prayerfully discern what God needs us to do in that moment. We're going to learn to prayerfully discern the yeses and the nos. When someone asks us to do something, go somewhere, participate in something, volunteer, we're going to learn to put that to prayer. I remember when I first headed back to church and I recommitted my life to God and I was really on fire, and I was asked all the time to participate in different committees at church. And I said yes to every single one. And I found myself burnout, exhausted, irritated. I thought, okay, Lord, what's going on? Like, why am I not finding joy in this? And he said, well, first of all, you didn't seek my guidance or wisdom to know if this was even the place that I needed you. It's not. Stop saying yes. And as a people pleaser, reformed people pleaser, that was not really easy for me. You know, we assume that because our church asks us that we have to say yes. That's not what God calls us to do. He calls us to be still, not to be busy. And if we are putting everyone else and everything else above him and above caring for our temple, then we have to learn to reprioritize and shift our focus. And that is going to be the main aspect of what I provide in my coaching time with you. So we will do weekly planning for the first month. We will do a monthly meal plan. I will provide for you a 30-day meal plan and with grocery lists, recipes, etc. And then we'll do a macro plan. So probably February this year, I really felt like God was calling me to shift focus away from the meal plan within the platform that I use and use a macro-based system. Because when we limit ourselves to food lists, oh man, elimination diets are not fun, right? Like it allows for treats, but it's twice a week. I don't want to live like that. My husband and I, we go to church on Sunday. We go visit my grandma in the nursing home. We hit our favorite local ice cream spot, Lucy's, on the way home. That's our Sunday treat. And I'm not going to limit myself each week. I don't want my clients to limit themselves. If they know that they're going out to dinner and they want to enjoy a cocktail or a piece of cheesecake, I want them to be able to plan for that. So I'll be creating a macro plan for you at the beginning of your journey, and then we will audit that every 30 days because you will be seeing weight pop off or muscle tone, whatever the thing is that you're working towards. We will audit that every 30 days to make sure that your macro count is staying within that boundary of the goal that you want to accomplish. And we're going to be talking about praying over goals. So in that first 30-minute audit before we kick off our boot camp, we will be very specifically praying together and asking God to reveal to us the goals that He has for our life. We will plan goals over 90 days, and then we will break them down into what we can do each month, and then what we can do each week, and then that will then break down to what we can do each day. We will also be doing why work. If you're familiar with Simon Sinek, he says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And it's the same in our fitness and nutrition journey. If we are working out simply for weight loss, it's never going to be sustainable. We work out to honor God's plan for our life. We work out because we want to be able to get off the floor playing with our grandkids when we're 85 and not require, a chair and 5 people to pull you up. We're working out for longevity of our life, for mobility and quality of life. We're working out so that we can go out and live and walk in the purpose that God has created for your life, because He has a big plan for your life. It could be your ministry at home. It could be your ministry outside of home. We don't know. Maybe you know. But we want to be able to walk in that. I want to be able to help you release the chains of diet culture and really learn to seek His voice, seek the Holy Spirit in everything you do. This is a process. We read that on average, implementing a new habit takes on average between 66 and 286 days. That's why I'm doing a 3-month beta test, because by the end of this 3 months will really be the time where you start to lock in a new habit. So if you're not ready for fitness, that's fine. We will focus 100% on your morning routine and your nutrition. If you are a current client and you already have access to fitness, that's fine. If you want to work out, that's fine. But we're going to be focusing 100% on the mindset work and building the discipline that it's going to take for you to implement one healthy habit this 3 months, and then one healthy habit the next 3 months, and so on and so forth. So we will decide in our one-on-one call if fitness is something that we will implement in the beginning. For some, we might. For others, we may not. So then I will also be offering a couple a la carte options if you want to, for each hour of my time additional, there will be an a la carte option for that. I am providing for the beta for the first 3 months 2 free hours of my time. And then if you want a daily message Monday through Friday, I will be offering that as well if you want that morning check-in. And then again, the fitness, which will depend on what kind of workouts you want to do, what your goal is. If it's fitness and mobility, if you're a woman over 40, I'm really encouraging my clients to focus on more mobility and stability instead of heavy weight training. We focus on zone 2 cardio because cortisol levels can raise in unhealthy levels if we are doing a lot of HIIT workouts or getting our heart rate up too much. Our bellies hold on to that visceral fat, and we don't want that to happen. So at the beginning of our call, we will also find a verse that you like, that speaks to you, and that will be our meditation verse over the course of that 3-month period. And every morning, I will give you a step-by-step journal prompt, and you will be walking through that process in your prayer time, and we will be focusing on that verse, seeking God's wisdom and guidance, because He knows what's going to happen through that day for you. He knows the struggles that you're going to face. He knows all of the objections and barriers that are going to come against you. And so when those times happen, how can we take those thoughts obedient and make them to Christ, as we read in 2 Corinthians? So we're going to walk through very specific intentional processes on how to do that very thing. So This is what the next 3-month beta process is going to look like. I am going to probably accept, I don't know, I've been praying over that, 7 clients, I'm guessing, that will take us through this first 3-month process. And this will be a very individual and customized plan. Not everybody is the same. We all have different bodies, fitness levels, hormone struggles, schedules, family dynamics. And so we're going to be very intentionally and specifically moving through those. So I will be, I'm looking forward to connecting with some of you about your goals. There is a link below, lindyslabaugh.com. You can click on there and there will be an application to apply for this beta program launching October 1st. So applications will be, the deadline for that will be the end of September so that we can take a couple of minutes, probably that last week of September, get on a FaceTime call and really talk about your goals and the things that you want to move towards over the next 3 months. And then we're going to break those down very specifically and give you a plan so that you have a daily to-do list, a daily checklist. And I just really want to encourage you with one more thing. The second that you decide that you're going to commit to this program, something's going to come against you. Okay? If we have 7 days in a week, and you nail everything in the program I'm going to provide for you one day out of that week, celebrate that because it's probably not going to happen again. And I want to give you freedom in that because you're going to have that one thing that you're going to focus on every day. Maybe it will be water. Maybe it will be movement. Maybe it will be your nutrition plan. We will work that out. But grace over grind and focusing on obedience to the Holy Spirit over the outcome of weight loss. And I promise you, in 3 months, you're not going to recognize your body, but most importantly, you're not going to recognize your mindset and the faith that you have built in this 90 days. So application to apply is at my website below. Please join my free community. We're kicking off a back to school challenge next Monday, August 19th. And I am looking forward to connecting with so many of you then and learning about the things that you're working towards in your life through prayer. Take care. Thank you so much for being here and God bless.
I hope this message encouraged you today, and I hope you know how much God cares about you and wants to help you in your health journey. If you would, please take 30 seconds to drop a review below. I would be so grateful. It helps me to know that you're here and enjoying the content. If there's someone in your life you think this message would bless, please share it. As women of the world, we need to seek our worth in Jesus and not in our weight. You are worthy, beloved. Don't give up on the goals God has placed in your heart. And please be sure to check out my free workshop where I'll give you the formula for weight loss and help you schedule your self-care time and use biblical principles in your health journey. Thank you for being here, and God bless.